welcome to me too. My name's Marge. I'm a male empath, and I just like doing these little talks on the way I feel about things. And actually, I'm in a pretty good mood. I just look at how freaking hairy this coat is, man. I have a white dog. I have a couple light colored haired colored dogs. So what do you do? I just wash it all the time, but I gotta go to the laundromat tomorrow. So what do you do? You know. I used to freaking have like the idea of like, oh, I need to keep everything clean, you know. And then what happened is like, you have 4 dogs, and you know, mom, and and it's you can't. And I would make myself crazy not being able to keep stuff clean, and I'd get mad and frustrated. And see, this incarnation, I'm supposed to learn how to just not be mad at all. You know, and I was listening to talk. I figured out, you know, I'm like, what have I been missing? What's missing in my spiritual practice? You know, there's something missing. You know, because I'm starting to feel an imbalance, and I don't like it. So what am I not doing? I'm going outside. I'm sitting in nature, even though it's cold. You know, I'd sit in the sun. The sun's still warm. You know, and the temperature's warm, but in the sunshine, it's warm. So there's a period in the day I got a chair, and the cattle sit on my lap, and we'll hang out, and as soon as it goes behind the tree, man, the temperature freaking, that warmth goes, we come back inside. But so I'm doing that. I'm doing my meditations. I didn't do it a couple days ago, because sometimes it's not, you got to listen to yourself. Sometimes, like, you know, you don't want to put yourself in a vulnerable position, and meditate state is a very, very, very vulnerable position to be in. And now, this time of year is very, very, the veil is the thinnest this time of year. So, people got to be careful, you know, because not everything is in our best interest for us, yeah. So, anyway, but what I figured out, what I've been missing, is, like, listening to other people's spiritual talks, you know. I used to listen to a lot more Sadhguru, and, you know, I just got to a place, I think I got to a place where, you know, sometimes our ego gets in, and you know, sometimes, as much as I'm always learning, you know, I can still get in this feeling of vibrational freak that I know it all. You know, oh, I know that, I know that, I know that, I know that, and I don't. That's why I say I don't know nothing 100%, because I'm saying it to remind me too. You know, I'm not just informing the world of stuff I know. I'm saying this stuff to remind me too. And so I was listening to, I woke up this morning, the dogs ate and stuff, and I was just freaking trying to go back to freaking just trying to get warm, you know. And it don't take very, very long. I get there, you know. But mom's got her electric blanket and her heating pad, so she's just fine. She's toasty in her bits, you know. And I don't ever worry about her. She's got all kinds of blankets and stuff. Anyway, so I woke up and I started listening to Alan Watts. And I like his talks, and he's got a freaking, you know, his cadence, his verbal cadence. See, we all have a cadence to us, you know. That's why people like people's music. There's cadence, you know. That's why I like to listen to a tarot, or I used to, when I listened to more of them, but I used to like listen more of the tarot card shuffle, because you could hear their shuffle cadence, the cadence of it all, you know. Cadence, I learned the word when you march with your flight, and I was always in the back of the flight, because I was always the shortest, but I had to freaking step so, my step had to be so broad, because I had to make up for their short. It's hard to explain, but if you live it, it's kind of interesting. So anyway, and so sometimes I get frustrated when my own cadence gets impeded, you know, like when it's like I'm in the flow of like, I want to sleep, and I gotta get up and do this, and I gotta get up and do that. No, Marge, you get to be of service, you know, because you know how much you hate when you freaking gotta pee, you know. I hate it too. And so, you know, I'm never gonna put, you know, my animal's in that position where they're gonna have to hold it for too long. So it doesn't matter how I feel about things. You know what I mean? My free will is how I look at that, not that I get to do it or not. And people are thinking too much about their free will being, I don't have free will because I don't get to do whatever I want, stuff like that. No, the freedom is freedom of choice and how you see it. And And I think it is, and then so another talk I was just listening to was a man, um, from the other side interview with Terry Yoder. I haven't like looked at Terry Yoder yet. I just started listening to this talk, but he's a clairvoyant too, and he's an example of when I say people are getting the bits and pieces of it. This is what I mean. He's talking about how when he gets uh, messages from people, spirits, vibrations on the other side after they die. See, because when you die, you go to source. You go to, like, when you plug in. I always look at it as like electrical system. Like you plug in, and on the main grid. Well, it's like the main grid, and the way I see it, I visualize it. In my third eye is when people like take their last breath. Like if they do it in the cold, you'll see their last breath. It's steam, right? That's energy. That's alchemy. Well, it goes out back into the solar system where the rest of their same freak tribe is hanging out. Those that aren't incarnated on this earth. Your grandfathers, your ancestors, they're all making up these celestial, and then you freaking incarnate and then take that breath in and reanimate. It's a shift from one dimension to another, and so this man was sharing on his experience about how when people pass on, they get that they ain't mad about nothing no more. We're the one that are mad about stuff. And this man was saying about how people get mad about they don't get how when other people die, people get mad because they're not getting a connection with them. They're not connecting to them. Like when you're like they'll come and see you in a dream kind of thing. Well, I don't see my grandparents a lot. I don't know why. They're busy doing other stuff, I think. But every now and again, I do enough to keep them familiar, And because when you pass on to source, you don't take all that anger because you are in the highest vibration frequency, which is love, as I see it. And that's why I got this. Looks like a heart to me. Whoop. Anyway, damn it, I don't know. Anyway, so he was saying how people get angry because they're not getting that connection with their loved ones that are past that. Well, that's because you're in that lower vibrational. This is what I just sorted out with Mom. I'm like, you're in that lower vibrational frequency that grounds you and binds you to the earthly plane. Anger does that. So whenever I react and like my ego flares and I gotta think of that. Because we forget. Because emotions are vibrations, and sometimes people get themselves stuck in loops, because they're just used to feeling that way. And the effort to freaking transcend past that is just so too much effort, with things that you have to go without, It ain't everybody's experience to freaking be without you heat, and I got electricity, that's more than a lot of people in California, But that's the thing is there's so many people that have never gone without things, and they're like, I can't imagine what it's like. Well, you don't have to imagine anymore, because in this full spectrum experience, spiritual experience, everyone's going to get a chance to experience all the full spectrum vibrational vibrations of emotions, from all the lower ones, fear, terror, all that stuff, all the way up to love. It's a full gamut, and so there's some of us that have always like been down here, and we popped up into the but for our planetary alignments, we're more like this because we're more full spectrum. And then you have people born in more good standing. They're like up here, and they have no idea what these people are feeling down here, because they never put themselves. They're never down there because they're always feeding their ego, so they stay up here. So anyway, it's all sorting out. I'm learning. You know, and next I'm gonna listen to another talk by Alan Watts, you know. And I don't, you know, I listen to people I agree with. I listen to people I don't agree with. I you know, I listen to all kinds of full spectrum because I don't know who I'm gonna get the cool messages from. Just take the good and leave the rest, and that's all I got for now. Hope you have a right afternoon. Peace.